them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves. Let me get my bourbon hands. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. We got quite a bit to talk about today. The state of play from Sony recently was released. We got more information on Xbox, essentially giving games away. We got conversation around Tekken 8 and how it stacks up against Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat 1. And we got some other stuff to talk about as well. Persona 3 Reloaded recently came out. Suicide Squad. So got a decent stack of content or topics that we want to discuss. So let's get into it. But before we get started, per usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what you've been playing, how life going. Talk to the people.
Yeah, it's been what, like almost a week and a half since we did the last podcast. We waited a little bit to see if that state of play had anything going on, but wasn't much actually to look forward to. The please be excited didn't work for me. Uh, the one game that I was interested in was I don't know how they gonna pronounce it, but it's Sonic X Shadow or Sonic Cross Shadow. That's probably
Mm-hmm.
the highlight for me because like Sonic Adventure 2 was like one of the first Dreamcast games I got. And then when they re-released it on the GameCube, it was the first GameCube game I had. So I'm looking forward to them going back to that era, remastering the levels, remastering the music. And yeah, I think Sonic's been in a good like place recently. So I know the biggest Sonic fan with us, Jalen, looking forward to it. Uh,
Man.
other yeah, other than that, I just been uh working a lot, hanging out with the family. It's a lot of games coming out that I'm not even gonna be close to be able to touch, but I'm trying to play it as many as I can. Luckily, some of them are coming to Game Pass because Persona is like I really like that game, but it's expensive. But it being
Yeah.
on Game actually allowed me to like give it a try, and so far I'm really impressed with what's there. Um, so yeah, thanks for Game Pass.
Yeah. For
uh,
sure. That thing $70. I said, what? 70?
yeah,
I said, get out of town. I said, never. But the Game Pass came through for that one for sure. Cause I definitely want to play it on my Steam Deck, but I'm not paying y'all no $70 for no Steam Deck version when I can just play it on this and stream it.
beat
Because it
free.
does work for the cloud streaming too. So it's
Hmm.
all good. It's all good. Glad they was able to get that one and pick it up because that is definitely the way I'm going to be able to interact with it. Um,
Hmm.
but okay. Family good, everything good in Japan.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's good here. The little one's getting big. Like I have to show y'all. Like yeah, she climbing out of her little
Oh no.
playpen in the living room.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Not she at that stage. She be over there. Yeah. I think boys take a little longer to figure like what they can do, what they can climb, but
Hmm.
they have become very much so comfortable with like almost always putting themselves in danger, like to the point where they're always hanging off the couch, standing up on their high chairs, walking up the steps with no handrail or nothing, just one foot in front of the other, not even actually putting their hands down. Like yeah, they have no sense of security at this point, so it's just kind of getting a little scary, but they are getting a lot more independent, wanting to help clean up and all that stuff. So it's fun to watch, but yeah, they are definitely pushing the danger envelope a little bit that we're not comfortable with. Yeah. We're like, man, I don't know. Going up the stairs by yourself like this, I don't know, man. You might want to grab that rail one more time. Like, nah, man, I'm big dog out here now. Like, all right, bro, all right, I'll let you do it. But yeah, It's interesting for sure. But okay.
Danger real quick, my boy.
You said what?
Let me put myself in danger, my boy. I got this.
Yeah, that's kind of their MO. But what you been up to, Jalen? What you been doing? How's life going? What you been playing?
I mean, stuff cool, man. Um, life straight. I mean, ain't no like significant events or anything like that. Not this past week.
Mm.
I mean, like y'all said, that Shadow Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. I'm like, sign me up, my boy. They need to put the blick in that game too while they at it. Get a real Shadow the Hedgehog. That's fine.
Give him
Nah,
his
but
MP5 back.
His MP5. What y'all talking about? He had a gun?
You never heard of the Shadow the Hedgehog?
Shadow,
No, the
yeah,
game
from
Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, I
when he was
never
shooting
played that.
aliens, he had a blick. What?
Nah.
Man, just Google
Yeah,
Shadow the
look that up.
Hedgehog PS2 and look at the box art.
Bro,
He
he was
had a
cussing
gun
in that
on it?
game and everything.
Oh
And he was
my god.
cussing. I'm like, hey, what? Hey, they was doing that. They was going crazy on this, man. I'm like, my boy Shadow cussing. I'm like, he a real OG. I think, what is what, fifth, sixth grade playing that shit, bro?
Man, he
Dog.
was shooting police officers.
I'm like, he really got a strap on him, bro. He's shooting the military and aliens and
Oh my god.
blowing everybody up using. He had chaos control and what, chaos destruction or chaos. What was the other one?
I forgot the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to.
Dog.
You bring up that negative meter. I
I
can't
did
believe you
not
ain't heard of
know.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I heard of
Again,
Shadow, but I ain't never heard of him like having no blick on him talking about shooting up cops
yeah,
and stuff. That's
it's
Yeah,
called
crazy.
Shadow
Shadow
the
the
Hedgehog.
Hedgehog for PS2. And I mean, it was
Uh,
on GameCube, too, but it was that era. And yeah, it had his own game, but it was still a
I thought
Sonic
he
game
was
when you turn
always
around.
an anti-hero. So you said that he was shooting cops? I thought he was
He
an
is an
Yeah,
anti-hero.
anti-hero in
he's
that
an
game.
anti-hero. But you
Then
can
again,
choose
that
the
game
bad
is an
ending.
anti-hero too.
Yeah, if you want to choose the bad ending, you can be bad, but he was still the
Duh.
anti-hero.
Yeah,
Duh.
overall, he's still a hero in that game. He just an anti-hero. Like
Uh,
he not the pure hearted. Like the true ending of the game is
it's a good.
technically a good ending.
Okay.
But
The black-hearted
yeah, he got
hero.
his own strike. Like and that literally in that trailer for that Sonic game, they had Black Doom in there, and that's the dude on he was fighting on Shadow the Hedgehog or
Hedgehog.
working with him, whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I gotta look up Blicky Shadow because I'm thinking they exaggerating over there. Supreme Dream Skip, and he must be right on the money.
nah, he was really
Nah.
in there. I remember once game he was running in. He said, "Where's that dang?" He said the D word, but he was like, "Where's that dang Chaos Emerald?" I'm looking like, man, cussing there. I'm like, bro, what is going on? I
Oh
literally
my
remember she
god.
started at one level, bro. He said, "Where's that dang Chaos Emerald, bro?" I'm looking like, man. I'm like, Mom, that's okay. Yeah, y'all ain't. This ain't a bad game. I should be playing this. This is Sonic. I just want to let y'all know, man. They got a couple of hiccups.
Yeah, explain her. He over there cussing up the store. Yeah, all right,
You can
well,
probably look up YouTube like Shadow cussing, bro. They probably got a compilation of it. I can almost guarantee that.
all right, well, I learn something new every day for sure because I didn't know that at all. I knew he was a bad, like he was basically like the anti-hero of the story. Like I thought he was more like a Vegeta or something, but
I mean, it was
yeah,
well
technically
eventually. Yeah.
he become, but he didn't have like a arc to the point. I thought he had like an arc where he was like first bad, then he turned good. That's what I
I
thought.
mean, he do basically.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'm
That's
straight.
like
I
his
understand,
debut.
but it sounded like even throughout his whole situation, he still was using weapons and things like that until the up newer
Yeah, I
games.
mean,
Alien
he
showed
not.
up to Earth, and he was just like, "Ooh, I need to start shooting. Punching ain't enough."
Yeah, he not. I mean, Shadow ain't in every single game, but in a lot of games he ain't. He trying to he on his own agenda. Like he not. But it ain't
Yeah,
no type of most of his agenda. He trying to find his identity type thing, and he don't care about who gets in the way and certain things that happens with him trying to find his own identity. So it's not like he's fighting for good or he's outright just like, hey, I'm finna kill all y'all. He not like that. He just kind of like, hey, I'm trying to figure out what I need to, and if y'all get in my way, like y'all will get caught.
Yeah, true.
Like, and yeah, so and then you get people like Eggman and stuff that's trying to manipulate him a little bit. He a manipulatable character to some capacity because he don't know everything. So,
Okay.
and that's literally what Shadow the Hedgehog is. People trying to manipulate him and tell him what to do. That includes the military too. Because Gunn, they not the most positive people either because they the one who killed his like his lover or best friend or whoever you want to call her.
Oh, got a whole
Yeah, so
backstory. All right.
yeah, I'm
Well,
talking the military, yeah. But we can anyways, but yeah, so I mean I ain't really been playing nothing. I mean I've been playing some Persona 3. I think that's really about it as far as like what I've been playing this week. Me and Josh and Jalil was talking a little bit about that last night and stuff like that, but we can save it for the podcast or further along. So, or that could be a segue whenever you know. But that's
okay.
about it though.
All right. All right. Well, me, I've been playing Persona. I have been playing Suicide Squad, and I've played a couple of little games here and there, but really just been Suicide Squad and Tekken 8. Sorry, Suicide Squad, Tekken 8, and um, Persona. So, there's a lot to talk about because there's a lot of big releases coming out, and there's a lot of releases that have come out already. But I guess we could just kind of start with I forget now what I was going to start with. The state of play. That's what I was going to start with. Only reason I'm starting with the state of play because it's probably gonna be the longest topic because there's a lot came out of it, but at the same time a lot didn't. So it felt like it was you saw some stuff, but you didn't really see much, and it kind of just told me that they are really, 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 really leaning on their third parties to support them throughout this year. That's what it felt like, and pretty much, I don't think they're gonna have a big game for the end of the year. So, outside of potentially Death Stranding, which I think does that come out? Did they give a release date for that?
That's in 2025.
Okay, so yeah, it wasn't really anything that they showed that I thought was gonna come out. Maybe was it? I don't even. I think Rise of Ronin is like March. Stellar Blade
same
is
day as Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, Stellar Blade release date is which I mean this game cannot be there. It's April 26th. So they still got a wide open like ending of the year for what like a big release, and I haven't seen anything come out of there yet, which I would think they would do it here. And they had 2 VR games. Obviously that VR is just in their mind it's too niche, and I think they just wanted to have a device, but I don't think they're gonna support it in the way that they want to. So let's just go down the list of what they showed. I'm trying to find a pretty decent recap of everything. So I want it in chronological order.
I ain't got it all. Yeah.
Where's my chronological order, people?
I know the first step was Helldivers because I
Yeah,
was tired of seeing that game. It looks fun, but they showed in that game like 6 different events, and yeah, I mean it's a multiplayer game.
dude. I just feel like I really hope that it meets the expectations of everyone because um I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm not really that invested. I think Helldivers was trying to take the people that used to enjoy the game and bring in new people that may want to enjoy the game due to a different type of gameplay style and like bringing the camera down and all that good jazz. I really do hope they don't lose the people that loved it because they're trying to get more people to join. That's what I don't want to happen. But because it's not intriguing me at all in any way, shape, or form. So, and that's kind of my MO sometimes when it comes to those games. But Well, it used to be anyway, and that I think a lot of people are getting away from live service, multiplayer online games because I think a lot of people are just exhausted by them, and at this point, even if you try to announce a game like that and it's not free, you're not going to get the audience you really want. So because it's not free, I think they have a really hard uphill battle. Um, Kind of the same way with Suicide Squad. But I mean, I don't have anything negative to say about it necessarily. I just, it's not something I'm really interested in playing, nor am I interested in like, you know, um, trying to give it a shot because I don't know. I just don't feel so fun, or I don't feel like that's going to be an engaging content for me anymore. It hasn't been for a while. But it kind of rings home when you're sitting there playing Suicide Squad and you're like, I'd rather play this alone. I don't want to play with nobody else. So
Mhm.
it's just, I don't know. That's the type of situation where I feel like they were catering to an audience. And I really hope they don't lose their initial one because I think when you find success, I think you should be able to build up off that and not, fall to the wayside because you try something different. I want them to try something different and succeed. I don't want people to be stagnant. So that's my hope. I hope people that actually want to play that game play it. That's really what I hope they find a way to get people to be able to try it for free because that will help them continue on and keep everything going and make sure people are having fun in the game. So kind of like when they put it on PlayStation Plus, everybody started playing Helldivers out of nowhere because it was free. So I want them to find that success in that way. And I know if PlayStation supports that, I'm pretty sure they'll find a market. Um, what else? What else came after that? I think it was they went straight into Stellar Blade, right?
Yep, Stellar Blade
Um,
was next.
so Stellar Blade, um, what can I say about this game? Uh, they worked heavily on the physics. Physics were everywhere. Lots of bounce physics, lots of cloth physics. There's lots of physics. I just don't really get the whole. I don't know when you to me, and maybe it's a bad take. When you over sexualize the main character, I really start to lose interest, and I feel like it's not really an audience. It's not meant for me. Like I want to play a game like this where it's action oriented, cool, female lead or woman led character. I like those types of games. I like Bayonetta for that reason, and I think Bayonetta had a reason to be getting naked and then putting her clothes back on because she had like this hair power or whatever. I don't even think they have anything that's like insinuates why she needs to have all these different weird outfits. I just think that it's just wanted it to be there, which is fine. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that when you do that and you market it that way, and literally in your trailer, I could see her panties. That tells me, I don't think you really got a good game here. I think you just want to get people to enjoy looking at the character, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Project Eve? I don't know. I guess it bothers me, but it doesn't like make me not want to play it. It just bothers me. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm mostly negative about the game. I looked up the game after, and
Mhm.
it as bad as I thought, but like so one yeah, the main character being like overly sexualized in a lot of different outfits. Like the whole point, you got this lady who looks like a doll. Basically, you can dress her up in different outfits, and a lot of them are like in the trailer. She was literally wearing like a Playboy bunny outfit in one of them. Other ones is just oh, this is like my casual wear, or this is my club wear, or whatever. So you dress the girl up and you go out into a sci-fi world and you fight against robots and stuff like that. And so the game itself is inspired by Nier Automata,
Mhm.
and so it's a big RPG system, and the combat, is kind of near inspired as well.
Yeah.
That aspect is cool, but overall, it doesn't feel the overall impression I didn't get from the game is um so it's giving generic, and generic, I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but all it feels like a bunch of ideas that people threw together to make the game, and it's not like you said. Bayonetta has she's naked because she's a witch, and this witch
Mm.
uses her hair, and then the whole world is built around this idea, and everybody like all the outfits and how the world is built around this idea. It doesn't feel like it's a cohesive idea. It just feels like a whole bunch of different ideas thrown together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that being said, I didn't know who this developer was, and I don't know why they have gotten so much support from Sony. Like the game, like it doesn't look bad, like graphically, but it also is not hitting at the same like first party or like even third party Capcom caliber. Um, it it's a basically they worked with PlayStation before. They made some games called Magna Carta back in the day. They had some Xbox exclusives and PlayStation exclusives. So they're not like a brand new like random developer. And I guess the person who's directed it has a good relationship with Sony. So I don't know if the game itself is gonna be good, but just so far the trailer, like I'm not interested in it. And
Mm.
the RPG elements that they showed were pretty not basic, but like heavily near inspired. And like if I really want to play a game like Near, I think most people will probably just play Near because that those are
Yeah.
pretty clear games.
No, I agree. I felt like I was thinking I was more on the lines of going towards Bayonetta simply because of the stylistic part of it. I feel like Nier was a little less stylistic in that matter, but RPG
Oh
wise,
well, yeah,
because I'm talking
I,
about like
I thought
fighting
it
those
was
bigger
more fun.
bosses and going. Well, I guess Nier was doing that too, but I guess I was talking about more so getting closer with the to the camera, the action sequences that they were doing, like the flashiness of the fights. That's what I was talking about. I guess well, that's why I kind of steered more towards Bayonetta. But yeah, I think you're right. Nier Automata is definitely. I see more of that than I do of Bayonetta. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, because this is just like an open world game,
Yeah.
and you literally got the little robot floating behind you that shoot for you, and like it's about an anime robot girl, and you
Hmm.
can see her ass the whole time. Like
Yeah.
it's literally Near, but this is their own Near.
Yeah. So, I'm not like super negative on it, I guess, because I don't like writing stuff off, but at the same time, I don't want to play an open world game. I don't want to run around and do missions. I wanted like a quick full through sequence game. I didn't really care to kind of learn more about the world because it doesn't seem like the world is that interesting. But I feel like they put some time into their side characters enough to make me feel like maybe it's maybe it's okay. But again, I I'm not intrigued simply because of how they're marketing the game. They're marketing to the point where it just feels like that is the main purpose, and really the other stuff is just add-on filler. And maybe they feel like that's how they need to market the game to sell it. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, this is stuff that's actually mechanics in the game. So I can't really say that they didn't they didn't make the stuff, and that they did, and this is what it is. So um, but like I said, I don't want to be in the camp of oh you can't make your games the way you want to make your games. I just want to be very transparent that it's a it's not a
Yeah,
good
it's
look for me.
yeah, it's a thin line, and like
Yeah,
as I get older and being a dad and stuff like that, you think about it more. But it's like but realistically, there is a thin line where we want to just show somebody who's attractive and sexual because that's what our audience likes, and people are gonna buy it because of that.
mm,
Whereas we kind of take this type of stuff like s- not seriously, but more mature, and the whole world is going to reflect around that. Kind of like Cyberpunk. Like Cyberpunk, you can be completely naked, but the world is also, I feel like, reaches that same level of maturity. So
yeah,
it makes sense for people to be naked. Whereas like this, I don't feel like it's a a realistic, grounded world where this girl wearing this outfit. I mean, she's a robot, so whatever she can wear, whatever. But like, I don't see how it fits into the overall world where you fight these, tiger
No, it
monsters.
doesn't. It's just, it is what it is. And you don't want
Yeah,
super realism and everything, but at the same time, you want to be able to understand why she exists and why does it matter what she's. It's just like simply every other game I played, where even Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm like, why do they always. I don't know. It's just that's what they do. So it's fine. I don't want to start judging people on how they create their characters. But, Pyra and old girl, they were just like, it's just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
but it really didn't add to the story for me. And it didn't take away nothing either because I don't care. But it's still just, when you see that type of stuff, and that is the main focus. Like Xenoblade literally has a story, and it's not the main focus. It's just how they choose to create their character. This seemed like it's the main focus, and that's how it's marketed. So that's my problem. Like, again, I can't be mad at that because that is the way the world works. I understand why they're doing it. At some point, it used to interest me, so it's not like I was like, oh, I'm I'm mad about it now. It's just more so like, yeah, I know this little marketing thing, and I know if the game sucks, the game's still gonna suck, even if the girl that you're playing with looks attractive. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's just weird. So anyway, I don't want to harp on it too much, but I guess Jalen, before we move on, what are your thoughts on over sexualizing female male characters and women characters? I don't want to just be women. Men, they do the men too.
I mean, I think my biggest thing when they do all that stuff is just, I don't know, it just seems lackluster. Like, I think one of the big things I think about is like anime games where, they have all them like little, I mean, just not to choose a sex or anything like that, but when they have all them little girls with the big eyes, like, I think a prime example is it like the mega dimension or something, or hyper dimension or something like that. And it's just like, y'all, I can't even say it because I ain't played the game, but literally just at face value, it's just kind of like, I feel like y'all literally, and it's not even just for the sex appeal. Like y'all literally have this image that y'all want to have, and people gonna
Yeah,
play this game because of this image, and it's not even for like y'all know the type of people that's gonna play these games. They finna be talking about waifus, all this type of stuff, and the game
hmm
trash. Like it's those sorts of
hmm
things. So I mean, with that, people trying to look up the robot on near, like look up the dress, like they got videos about stuff like that, and just all that type of stuff. And the fact that the
yeah.
character has an animation when you try to do that, I think she got an animation if you try to do something like that, or the game stops you. I forgot, man.
the
It's
camera,
just weird.
That was
they
on
try to
I think it was Resident Evil 4. I think Ashley they changed it, and people were
yeah,
upset about that.
Ashley does it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
like
I was
the
like,
game
that's
know you trying to do it,
literally.
and it's
Do
like,
y'all understand why that type of stuff is even in the game? Because y'all are weird, buddy. You're weird, buddy. Like that's what
yeah,
I
like
like. That type of stuff is so funny to me that people, you know, like I said, I don't. This is what I'm doing. I don't want to judge people for what they enjoy. Because people make it for a reason. It's not like there's no reason for them to make it because they make it for a reason. I'm just saying when I see it, it makes me feel like that is the only thing that you have available for the game. And it's not an actual true, fully fleshed out video game. That's what I would say. I want to make sure my statement is very clear. I'm not judging people for what they like. I'm just more so judging the marketing um aspect of it and whether or not that translate to a good game. That's it. Because
Yeah,
I'm
the
not judging
marketing
nobody.
is
Yeah.
not like you want to be able to respect it, and like I want to see the hard work you put into this and you built this world and the combat is fun and things like that. But the first thing and the only thing I see is y'all marketing the sexual aspect of it. So I don't take it as seriously or like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the side characters looked interesting, so I was like, bro, why y'all doing this to the main character? Y'all could be they felt like it had like dialogue, it had actual information, exchanging of information, like they had some systems in there, but it was this that kept distracting me. Constant wardrobe changes, constant. Okay, like how the heck she? Never mind. That's why I was just like, bro. I was like, yeah, I'm not even. I'm trying to understand the game, but y'all are not really providing that. Yeah, I just keep throwing titties in my face. So that's kind of how it felt. Um, but hopefully, you know, it sells enough. Hopefully they do well. Like I said, I don't want nobody to really fail. I'm sick of seeing companies fail and go out of business. It's kind of exhausting at this point. All these people getting laid off and all that stuff. But I really do want to. I do enjoy. I starting to enjoy even more women women centered video games or women like protagonists in gaming because they simply have a little bit of a different story than I'm used to. Because sometimes you get kind of tired of playing the same thing over and over again. So I like when they have a different perspective and with how they view things. Because sometimes you just don't really, you kind of there's a type A and type B situation where you always get the same type of story, same type of characters, same type of everything really. So I like when they actually try to deviate, but when you deviate like this, it really does nothing for nothing. It really does nothing really. So let's tighten up. But next we had Sonic X Shadow Generations. Did y'all I'm gonna let y'all take it because what I saw
Not just playing. Go ahead.
he said he fully locked it, loaded. All right. Yeah, but Sonic X Shadow Generations is basically the game, and they're just bringing Shadow into Sonic Generations. I think they might have some additional. Obviously they have more environments and things like that, but I think it's still the same game. But I think they're adding on to it. But maybe I'm wrong on that. So from what I could tell, Shadow is coming to Sonic Generations, and he's bringing some new combat, new style to play, and things like that to the game. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and let y'all give y'all thoughts.
Man, so Shadow coming to that mug, like I mean, he the ultimate life form. He needs to be in that game. Not just play. No,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
no, I think it's cool. I think Sonic Generations was a real popular game as far as like Sonic. Obviously, if you ever been keeping up with Sonic, y'all know I have. That's my boy. But we met in real life all the time. Not just, uh, but Sonic Generations was like one of the popular Sonic games because Sonic always been going through like this up and down state or whatever, and they never really had no like really solid games. But I think one it's cool that it sounds like they, from what I know, they giving Sonic Generations like a remaster, and then they put in like Shadow in there too. So I don't know how they're gonna implement them. Honestly, it almost sounds like a little DLC type of thing, but I hope they give them like for the people who play Sonic Generations. I'm hoping that Shadow don't really feel like an add-on to some capacity. Like how you got a fleshed out game and then you like, well, we decided to put this in here. You can tell like it's like added on. I'm hoping that it's like really a lot of like Shadow going on, especially since his name is in the title at this point, right? Um, and then I mean, I think it'd be cool to see because you haven't really got like much of an update with Shadow. I don't even think he was in Sonic Frontiers or anything like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
just having him around, you know, Sonic Generations, you bouncing through like past Sonic games and stuff like that. I mean, the overall story of that game wasn't really all that. I don't think a lot of Sonic games are like they story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But having Shadow in there, I seen like some of Black Doom in there. Seeing some of his like strife and stuff. I hope it touch on some of those things, and it's like it just really feel like fleshed out. So they already got the groundwork. They got Sonic Generations and stuff. I think it'd be cool to have some of his like signature levels or like if they want to throw in like White Jungle, or I think I seen some of the Final Chase or Final Rush or whatever from Sonic
Mm-hmm.
Adventure 2. I seen the Biohazard or Final Hazard they was fighting, and then I seen some of Black Doom. Like, it looked like I seen some of Radical Highway. Like, everybody know Radical Highway, and that's something from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So it's like, if they can bring those things, and again, they have good groundwork because Sonic Generations is already a good game. I remember people talking about they wanted to remaster. I think they ported it from the 360 to like the when it bring like backwards compatibility and stuff like that. And I think that was one of the games that was updated. Deontay, didn't you have that game or bought it or something like that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
yeah.
did.
So I mean, because I think you said that had got like the 60 FPS booster. It was something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah. It
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah. So but yeah, and I mean, I got high hopes. I mean, as long as that mug ain't $70, I'm in there. Like,
Oh, that's yeah, yeah, no, that's good. What are your thoughts, Josh? Yeah, the our secondary for the Sonic universe.
Yeah, I didn't play Sonic Generations when it came out
Mm-hmm.
because at that point Sonic games were bad for a while, and then people were like, "Oh well, this one is okay, you can play it." And I played a little bit of the demo. The thing is that Generations it remasters the 3D games, but also the 2D games. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that interested in the 2D games, just the 3D ones, so I was just gonna wait until it got cheaper, but I never picked it up. I've had it on my wish list on Steam for a long time, and I was going to get it, but now this is I guess, an extra incentive because it's going to give. So classic Sonic is okay. Like I like those games, but I don't know if I like it in this 3D style.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to play the Sonic levels that they remastered. And now they added Shadow, so I can play the Shadow levels as well. So I think overall that could be a good package. Hopefully it's not overpriced. um, but yeah, it seems like a good return to like what people like about Sonic. And yeah, like Jalen said, it's been a while since there's been a Shadow like focus as like a playable character. So it'll be fun. His stages are just different, and so
Mm-hmm.
you might like some of Sonic's more, you might like some of Shadow's more, but overall it just doubles the value if you got both because they both have good levels.
What do you think about what do you? I guess how do y'all play Sonic games? Do y'all play them just to clear the level, or do y'all go back and speed run
uh,
It's kind of
you go
both.
ahead.
Because for Sonic Adventure 2, well, yeah, for Sonic Adventure 2 specifically, where Shadow is from, it gives you objectives. Like first, beat the level like normal, and second time,
them?
well, this time find all the secrets. All right, and then go back another time, finish the level super fast. So overall, I guess play it multiple times and do it every day. But like I would just it is about speed, but you kind of miss stuff and like shortcuts and secrets if you just going too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me, like he said, you got different objectives. Some of them like don't get touched. One of them like collect 100 rings, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I try to play them for like speed and like accuracy,
Right.
to some capacity. But I'm not like I'm not gonna break my back. Sometimes Sonic levels have like a couple different routes you can take. This the high right or high route, middle route, low route, things like that. And then some of them are obviously faster than others. So, you have to kind of be like a fanatic and have crazy reaction time to really play those games to like their full capacity and stuff like that. I do it sometimes. Like some later Sonic games started giving you like, let's say Sonic Frontiers. Those levels wasn't the best levels because they looked at all similar to each other, but
Mm-hmm.
they give you a time what you need to reach to get like a rank or like a highest rank, and they have different ways of ranking and stuff. Some of the games compare like your score, like how many enemies you killed, how many rings you gathered, and how fast you went through the level. But some of them just focuses on the time and stuff like that. But if it's just strictly focusing on the time and it
Yeah.
tells me how fast I need to beat the level and I'm close to it, I'll be like, all right, let me go ahead and try to get the A rank because it's the time I need. But then you play a level and it took you 2 minutes to beat it. and it say to get an A rank, you need to beat it in 55 seconds. You're like, boy, it ain't no way. Like, I need to cut down a minute and some change on this level. Like, how is that possible? I had to look something up to figure out how to do it adequately. But to answer your question, if it's within means, I go for that extra rank or something just to challenge myself. Because there's there's refinements that I can do. Like I could avoid this enemy stuff like that. But if it's crazy, because some of the levels they just want some crazy time. If it's the crazy time, I ain't doing it. I'm just like, all right, I'll go ahead and take my seat and I keep it pushing because it ain't that deep. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm glad y'all got something out of this and that y'all enjoyed and had some appreciation of. I think it's like autumn. I want to say autumn 2024. I think that's what
Yeah.
they said. Which is an interesting kind of phrasing, autumn. But yeah, it's in coming autumn 2024. And I think, autumn is technically what is that?
yeah.
Like
September to October.
September. Yeah.
Or November,
September.
technically.
Yeah. So, that's when autumn starts, around like the September 22nd of this year. That's when autumn starts. So, I don't know if that's like the date, but it's going to be in that time frame. What next? We had Zenless Zone Zero. Like, the game looks good. I really like the stylistic aspect of it. I don't really have much else to say on it outside of it looks good and it's in development. That is not a good showing in my opinion. I wouldn't have showed this. But Zenless Zone Hero was there. It looks very stylized. It's one of those I think gotcha games. I don't know. It looks like it, but maybe it's not.
It is.
But they had nothing else outside of, in development. So I ain't really got much to say. Anything to add on that for you guys?
It's gonna be a big anime title. Like, it's the same people that did Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, and this is their next game. It's an action game instead of like a RPG, so it's gonna have more Devil May Cry / Bayonetta combat. It's gonna be on mobile phones. It's gonna be on PlayStation, gonna be on PC. And it's a gotcha game, and they have a bunch of characters, and they're gonna make a bunch of money. So it's gonna be a big deal. But yeah, like I try to stick away from gotcha games because they always have like a good intro, like first 10-20 hours, and then after that, like you can't beat no bosses unless you get the character from the shop, and you gotta drop money, and so they're never worth it. But yeah, it looks really good. The combat looks fun. I think it will actually be a fun game. It's designed to gamble. It's not really for it. And like you said, the trailer didn't really show much. They've been showing the same characters for a while. The game is not ready yet. Like late this year, maybe early next year. But yeah, they're just showing it off.
Yeah. So then the next thing we got was Foam Stars. And that is coming free to PlayStation Plus, I think February 6th. Still not enough to get me to play it, but it is coming. I give it a shot, I guess, for to entertain myself or for research purposes only, honestly. But yeah, they got that coming out, and at least it's gonna be on PlayStation Plus to try it out. And unfortunately, I forgot to change to stop my subscription before they charged me, so I got another year. So yeah, I'll play it, but it's not like it's not one of those things, It's just there. So, anything to add for Foam Stars, Jayla? You copping? You gonna play that?
Nah, I ain't gonna look it up.
Don't you? What if you got PlayStation Plus? You could just try it.
I ain't got PlayStation Plus in years, boy.
you be getting away as soon as they said you could play those free play games for free. said, I don't need you no more.
Yeah, they said
Yeah,
you gonna hold you up.
yeah, yeah. It's been a while,
I
but
mean, I feel like that's why they had to add all them extra incentives to PlayStation because like people started playing through them cracks and them cracks. So
yeah, that's true. Like multiplayer only games really being focused simply on the large open multiplayer games, like the way that the multiplayer purchased games died off was insane. It's like I'm not buying a game to play multiplayer no more. Either you make a good game and I play it and you get your microtransaction money, or are we just not playing it? And that's kind of what happened. So once that died off, it was like, okay, what else can we offer them? And that's when they started doing like other stuff and adding stuff to their subscription because Game Pass was killing them. So, um, but okay. Next up, we had Dave the Diver getting Godzilla content. I actually like Dave the Diver, so I was intrigued. I thought this was pretty interesting. It's coming out May 2024. But this is not something you show at the State of Play. I'm just being honest. I know they were one of the biggest indies of last year, but nah, son. This ain't we want to see something real. Show me something real. This ain't it. So I'm intrigued, but I'm probably in the minority on that. People were just probably waiting for that to turn off. Next up we had V Rising again. So this is a game that's already out on Steam Deck PC. It's obviously on PC. And I played it. It was interesting. Don't care that it's coming to PlayStation 5. Honestly, it's like, fool, wow. But maybe people that haven't played this game thought it was cool. But it's a top-down, kind of Minecraft-ish, survival-ish game where you gotta kind of build up through the night, build a base, survive the night. I think the night or the day. It could be the day. Because you're a
Yeah, the day
vampire.
you're a vampire.
Yeah, because you're a vampire and you and yeah, it's kind of like that. It's in that cloth, but yeah, it's fun. But I just wouldn't waste my time showing this. What are your thoughts on a couple of these indies being there at the showcase?
Yeah, I think indies might be hard to pick because, like, maybe Power World wasn't on their radar, and then now it's like the hottest thing, and it's not there. Whereas you have a game like V Rising, which was hot like a year ago, but it's finally coming to PlayStation, and the game might still have a fan following, but it's an old game technically. I guess it's in early access, but like this is a game we've seen for a while, and so it's not a big exciting reveal. So as your 2024 lineup, as they said, these are the first games you get to see of 2024. It's not really that exciting.
Nope,
Yeah,
not even in the slightest. Um, the Silent Hill, the short message was cool. I thought that was a nice shot, little drop. I don't know how long that game is actually, or what it actually entails, but I like Silent Hill in first person. Um, I don't like Silent Hill in third person. Not no action RPG. When I was watching this video, this footage, I just felt like, man, this is subpar. This is not even close. This looked like a PS2 game. It looked it bad. Um, and with all due respect, I felt like they were never a part of the um action genre, the action horror. I thought they were always psychological. I thought they were always dwelled better in that whole psychological warfare versus anything. But it had way too many fight beats. It had way too much shooting, and graphically looked horrendous to me. Um, and
yeah.
it's too hard not to compare it to Resident Evil. So they did it to themselves.
So yeah, that trailer had a bunch of things wrong with it, but like you said, Silent Hill, like famously, like the creators of it, like they said when they made it, they wanted you to feel weak, so we made the combat bad. And so I think it's always room to improve it, but the whole game was designed as the combat is not the main focus. And so them spending a lot of time in the trailer focusing on the combat while everything else in the game kind of looks subpar. Like the graphics don't look that good, the lighting doesn't look that good, the character model and textures don't look that good. The combat looks like a bad Resident Evil combat. And so, you know, if you, I mean, of course you can't like not improve the combat. Like you can't just ignore that. You have to make it better. But they didn't focus on their strengths, and what make the game interesting seems to be like missing. So it's not looking good from that. And I know the people making it are not the original developers. They made the medium, and the medium also was not that good. So we'll see how it shapes up. I was hoping that at least because they had the original game, the original blueprint to go by, that at least the core of it will still be good, and y'all just like touch it up, kind of like Bluepoint does. But it looks like they're doing their own thing, so we got to see if they can actually deliver.
Yeah, and I just don't think they. I'm just gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be terrible. But I think once they go back, I think the other game they showed, I forget the name, the game that I think it was like in Japan or like in Tokyo. Was it? I don't remember.
Yeah,
It was
Silent
like
Hill. I don't remember the name of it.
yeah,
Mhm.
that one might be good.
Japan.
But I'm like I'm like 100% writing off this one. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's cool though because they got plenty of other ones. I'm gonna play the small memories game soon. Short message. So I said memories. Short message, and I'm probably gonna essentially skip Silent Hill 2. I like this Silent Hill though, but that right there tells me they're going in the wrong direction, and it's Konami, and it's I don't think they know what they're doing, to be honest. So I'm gonna just
Yeah.
leave it at that. Judas. Judas came out. It didn't come out, but it's from the creators of BioShock. Really good animations, really good story beats. They had some pumping the sound system up. I love the music and this whatever they were singing. I felt like it had very cool artistic style. Um, and it obviously I just need more BioShock, so I don't really care what the package should come in as long as it looks great. Like matter of fact, let me take that back because Atomic Heart we tried it, but these are the creators of BioShock, so hopefully they kind of understand that little extra formula that made BioShock what it was. Um, so it looks really good to me. This is the best thing that they showed, honestly, to me. It just has a wish list. It's in development for the PS5, but it doesn't really tell us anything. And the new developer is by the name of Ghost Story, so they create a new um um
Studio.
Correct. Sorry, I was supposed to keep saying developer, but I'm like that's not it. They created a new studio, and yeah, that's what they named it. So I'm looking forward to it. Any thing from Judas that y'all want to state?
No, but personally, I'm not. I was never that into Bioshock. I played a little bit of Bioshock One. But yeah, this here is the original creator, Ken Levine. He after Bioshock Two left to make some other games. I think Gone Home or something. He made that or worked on that, and then now this is another studio where they're going back to the Bioshock style. So like you said, he might have the secret sauce for Bioshock that these other Bioshock games don't have. Um, but you know, just gotta wait and see. It looked okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's speed past this VR stuff. Legendary Tales and Metro Awakening. both trash. I know, I'm just playing. I don't care about them, so I'm not gonna talk about them. But they got some VR games. I'm not sure if they're even exclusive. I think they just are VR games that's gonna be coming out. Um, I'm not intrigued, and I don't care. So move past that. Dragon's Dogma 2. What happened here? I mean, they just kind of showed off more of the
So
game. Did they show anything new?
yeah, well, I was gonna say that I don't know how much they showed new because they've done a lot of press for the game, but this was the most straightforward trailer that they had. It was just all combat, no story stuff, and I thought it was cool because I mean, if you watch it, it's only like a minute and a half long. It shows some class switching, like you run out there with your big sword, you hit the monster or whatever, then you put your sword away and it switches to a bow, and
Mm-hmm.
like how the movement is it feels a lot more fluid. Like y'all played Monster Hunter where it's like you swing your sword and you gotta wait until like you gotta bring the sword back and you can't move.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same combos and stuff like that, but there is a lot more movement. You can roll and you can move and you can climb stuff and jump, like a lot more fluidly than you can in like Monster Hunter. So the combat at least looked really good in the trailer. And like I said, nobody plays Dragon's Dogma for the story, so they should focus on showing what's fun about it. And I think that's a better way to spend their time instead of
Now, yeah. Now,
story.
now, is there any truth to this being 30 FPS on consoles?
Oh, so I don't know if it's true, but that's the rumor
Oh,
that I've heard as well.
okay.
But I was gonna play it on PC, so yeah.
I don't care about none of that console crap. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right, but hopefully it's not 30 FPS because that'd suck. But at the same time, it looks very graphically pleasing, so I could definitely see it being 30 FPS. Um, okay, then we had Rise of Ronin, Scratchy Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if I want to play this game, honestly. Um, I feel like I don't know. I don't know. Um, I'm gonna let you start it because I'm just gonna be negative. Rise of Ronin, what you think?
I I don't have anything positive to say about it because I wasn't the biggest fan of Neo, but Neo fit in like its own niche where it's like it's kind of like Dark Souls, but it's more fast paced and you got the stand switching. Now this like the especially that first minute of that trailer is like, oh, we have a big city like Assassin's Creed game. You can climb up the
Fly
wall
around.
and like fly around and jump down on people like you playing Assassin's Creed 2. And it kind of got Neo combat, but it's slower and the, the whole polish is not there, like the animations and how the enemies look and stuff. So it looks like a interesting idea. Like Team Ninja is finally doing something different because we played Wulong and it's by the same people, and it's like they they kind of follow the same formula where you go, fight
Yeah.
enemies in a linear corridor. So I can't fault them for trying something different. But for me, I'm definitely out. Like I don't want to play a Assassin's Creed style samurai game, and if I do, I'm gonna just wait for Ghost of Tsushima 2 because that was like delivering on every aspect that I could hope from that type of world or setting.
Yeah. So that's the problem. I think it just doesn't. I think they probably have some mechanics in there that I would enjoy more than what I saw in Ghost, but I feel like there is a level of quality and time, uh, and I guess there's a level of time respect for Ghost of Tsushima as well. I feel like this game is going to have a lot that you don't need to do, and it's going to waste a lot of your time. I think the story beats aren't going to be fast enough for me, and I feel like I'm going to have to be doing small, stupid objectives around a city that I don't want to do. So I'm very much so conscious about time respect and graphic and like fidelity plus polish. So I think Ghost of Tsushima 2 would just be the ideal wait And it's just something that people want to play. That's fine. It's not like you're doing something wrong by playing a game you want to enjoy and you feel like it has stuff that's there for you. I'm just saying that it's not for me. And this trailer just solidified that with the drop frame pace and like the bad pacing, frame pacing, the tethering around the hair, the annoyance and like the fuzziness and the grass, because it's just, you can see that all this super sampling, upsampling and upscaling, and even if I was to play this game, I just wouldn't probably enjoy the experience overall, because it's going to probably look and feel like Wulong, which again has a lot of things that I enjoy in that game, but I'd rather play Elden Ring. So it's just that type of situation. It's nothing bad about it. It's just that I have other things that fit that niche or fit that build that does it better in regards to the overall package. Not saying that one thing might not be better, because seamless gameplay throughout the whole game with Wulong, oh my god, that's so much 10 times better than anything Elden Ring could ever do. But well, not anything they could do, but in that multiplayer uh section, they beat them, but everything else just feels flat. So it's unfortunate, but it's not unfortunate, because people do play these games. I just want them to find support and all that stuff, but it ain't gonna be for me. Um, what else? I think Until Dawn is taking down the old game to re-release the game is kind of quite annoying. Maybe it'll look a lot better. I don't know. I never played Until Dawn, so
Oh, really?
no, I never
It
played it.
it's I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like crazy good or anything like that, but it has a very simple story. Like basically, just think of Scream, and it's a very simple story, and it's done very well, and it's not too long. And so all their other games that came out after, like Little Hope and all that other stuff, they had a whole bunch of issues where it's like the multiplayer is not fun, or the story is not that good, or it's too short, or it's too long. Whereas like Until Dawn proved to me at least that it can be done. You can have a 5 6 hour horror game with interesting characters and make it fun to play. So
Hmm.
I would say at least give it a try, especially like I think you and your wife might enjoy that type of story. But like you said, take down the old version and put up the new one. It looks better technically, but it didn't need that because this was a PS4 game.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah, it was a story beat game, and I think it still held up to this day, just like the Quarry and all the other games. I like the Quarry the most, the last one I played. Um,
Mhm.
but I never played like Until Dawn. I never played the original one, so I did play a little bit of the like Man of Medan or something like that. I think. Um,
Yeah, or
but
if you like the Quarry, people say the Quarry is like the closest one that's as good as Until Dawn.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because it was very short to the point, but me and Terrence played through it while he was here, at least most of it. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't like the optics of it. It looks weird, and I think that they didn't have to do that because they're going to charge a full price for this game, which is annoying. So, um, what else? Oh, it was Kojima. Kojima was the last thing. That's it. Like he had literally 15 minutes to talk about whatever Kojima wanted to talk about. Death Stranding really looked decent. It looked interesting in a world building aspect, not in a gameplay aspect. It's just the world looks interesting. It's like a very polished movie. It looks really like I'm into sci-fi movies that don't really explain everything until the end. So this here is all those beats.
Mhm.
But does the gameplay itself look fun? Absolutely not. It wasn't fun when the first time I did it. But the story was weird enough to keep driving me forward to try to get to understand it more. But I think he's starting to, uh, in my opinion, Kojima for me is wearing out his welcome, because I thought it was going to be some type of spectacular ending that kind of show what make this stuff make sense. I had to still read about it to make it make sense to me, which is fine. Stuff can go over your head. I just felt like it. He just does stuff to make stuff look cool. It's not really a part of his world in a way that makes sense. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know. When y'all play Metal Gear, did everything seem cohesive, or at least
Uh,
make sense in a
No,
way?
well, yes and no. I say that it's 50-50. Like the whole gimmick of Kojima is that he's gonna give you like the most realistic looking graphics, realistic looking characters, and like, oh, this game looks dope, like it's a Hollywood movie. And then the other half, he's gonna throw in this other stuff like you'll never be able to guess the ending. You'll never be able to guess what I'm thinking. I'm gonna trick you so many 50 different ways. And some people like that. Some people hate that. So Metal Gear, the first one was very, very simple for most of the story, and then they threw in some like, crazy secret stuff in later in the game. And each game it became more and more. It's like Metal Gear Solid 4 doesn't make any freaking sense from the first minute you start watching it. But at that point it don't matter because you already on Metal Gear Solid 4, you didn't played all the other ones. Uh and so yeah, I didn't play the first Death Stranding, and I'm watching this trailer. I don't understand anything that's going on, but
No,
at
I
the
don't
same
either.
time,
So it's not like it's like
I
just
can't
the people that
deny.
didn't play it.
Yeah, but I can't deny that the game, the the work that he has created doesn't look dope. Like it does. Like the characters look
Yes.
great. Oh,
Hmm.
it's weird. Every single scene, I'm like confused and super interested, like where is this going, what is going on. But like that's kind of the gimmick. I think the problem with Death Stranding 1 is that the game is long. It's like 60-70 hours, right?
Yeah.
Where Metal Gear games are like 8 hours. So that gimmick, you don't get that tired of it in the Metal Gear game because the game is over quickly. Whereas like Death Stranding, he wants you for almost 100 hours, and you got to be really dedicated to like want to sit through all that. And it might not even be worth it at the end, like you said, because you're not gonna actually get all the answers because he's not interested in giving you the answers. He's trying to get you interested in thinking and like have memories about having fun with this weird story, but it's not like actually gonna satisfy everything.
Yeah. Like there's plenty of weird things that happen in the world that kept me engaged, and it was the actual mechanic of getting from place to place had some engaging points to it because you had to keep getting upgrades to be able to be a better mailman. So I liked like there was enough there to keep me going and everything. I just don't know if it doesn't start to make sense to me if I can get through another one and for the same type of gameplay and it's not switched up. Like I'm hoping for a different type of gameplay. I don't want to continue and like basically what he said was you're gonna just continue your mission. You're just not gonna do it for bridges. I'm just like, all right, but what else, Kojima? What
Mhm.
else, bro? I don't want to just build more stuff for I just don't want to do that. I want to do something else, and I just don't feel
Yeah,
like
halfway through the game, he gonna kill Sam, and you're gonna start playing as the baby, and it's gonna be a different game. That's what Kojima gonna do. He gonna lie because I was I watched the Death Stranding 2 trailer, and I went back and watched the Metal Gear Solid 5 trailers, and like I think I'm the only one that finished it, but it's like every single one of those trailers was lying about the plot of the game, and so I'm pretty sure he's gonna do the same thing, where it's like, look at this trailer, you're gonna do the exact same thing, but you're not gonna see what I got coming because I'm trying to trick you. Like that's his whole thing. He wants to trick you.
mm. Well, I don't know, Taylor. What you feel about Kojima?
I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of had something. I kind of resonate with you. Said I feel like he a little like overrated. I mean, I don't know what he did exactly that just puts him on this high of a pedestal, and that's not to knock him or anything. I understand the Metal Gear Solid series was good, or the Metal Gear series was good, but it's just like like we see some of his work and stuff. You just like, all right, man, like this ain't that good, bro. Like, so
Yeah,
I just don't
that's
understand all the appeal behind him. But he can make it Death Stranding. What Death Stranding get like 6? And I'm not saying that's a horrible game. I'm not saying the rating and stuff is accurate. Like I'm just saying like he's like human. He's not like, to me, he didn't create the best games. Like um the Metal Gear story, they literally play. You got Metal Gear on the Game Boys or something like that, or SNES, whatever it's on. Then you got Metal Gear Solid, which takes place like in I say like the middle timeline type thing, because literally in Metal Gear Solid 2, it takes place a little bit after that. Then you play a riot, and then you got all these theories about if that's even real happened. Did it really happen? And then you play Metal Gear Solid 3, which is a prologue, and then you play Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which is a sequel or takes place after Metal Gear Solid 3, but before the first one. And it's just all these different things, man. The story not like cohesive. You can look things up and stuff about it, but it still don't make sense. And you just take stuff for what it is. And like Josh said, the game finished, so you just be like, all right, well, I enjoy what y'all showed me, and I enjoy what I understood. I'm gonna take some time to go figure out the things I don't understand if I can remember them, then go about my day. Like,
3 is
Uh,
probably the best one to play and just forget about, because it's like the story is pretty straightforward. He got all his extra secret stuff, but it don't matter to that story. But every other game is like, he wants you to be on the wiki for 50 hours reading about it.
mm. Okay, well,
But yeah, like he made some good games. I don't think he deserves a continuous like blank check, I'm gonna say, from Sony, and to be given 10 minutes out of every show to like just
talk
not
about
show
this stuff.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he makes good games. I'll always be interested. But like, yeah, he doesn't have to be the video game messiah forever.
No, man, it just doesn't. I don't, like I said, I don't want to hate on him. I'm just kind of over it. I just feel like Microsoft gave him money. Um, Game Awards gave him 10 minutes after they was moving everybody off the stage that actually earned a reward. Um, and it just felt like, this guy is just above it all. He's above so much, and maybe that's just hate, but it doesn't feel um like I've played anything to get to warrant that yet. But whatever. It doesn't matter. What I can say though is that he has the budget, he has a vision, and he executes on uh his vision well. Like he I don't think he ever missed on executing his vision. I just think
Yeah.
it's more ways where, like, do we understand his vision? So that's value in itself, and to be able to walk away from people that don't want to keep going with your craziness and make your own and find success. It speaks volumes, and people want to be around you and understand you. It's cool. Cool. Um, but next up, let's move into the okay. Sorry, that's the state of play.
The
In my opinion,
the one
oh
other thing from the state of play that he was super vague about is the next stealth game that he's making,
yeah, the
which
espionage game.
is supposed to be Metal Gear inspired. Um, well, he got a whole bunch of blank checks coming. He got the stealth game that he's working on. He's got Death Stranding 2, the Death Stranding movie, which they've confirmed, and then the last thing that he revealed the game was on that the poster board was that he's making a something with Columbia Pictures that's not the Death Stranding movie. So that he got 2 movies and 2 games coming.
Yeah, he got, like I said, he getting that money, man. I'm glad he getting to the bag. He got so much happening, and people are enjoying him, loving him. He's able to have space with PlayStation. Has space at Xbox. I just hope these games that he's
Oh, and OD,
creating.
OD, yeah.
Yeah, he got OD.
A lot
Um,
of Kojima.
yeah, it's a lot of Kojima, dude. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot of Kojima. I don't wanna make it feel like I'm hating. So it's just a lot of Kojima. So anywho, let's move on to some other topics. State of play overall, I gave it a C minus. It wasn't like great. It wasn't like the worst thing I've ever watched, but um, definitely didn't have anything I thought was interesting. And the fact that they gave so much, they gave a lot of time to Stellar Blade, um, like 2 minutes. I mean, they gave it like 6, 7 minutes.
It was 6 minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
And Kojima had like
yeah,
10. So Stellar
yeah,
Blade was more like almost 30% or something like that.
yeah. And then Rise of Ronin was about 4 minutes. It just really wasn't anything impactful in this state of play for me. Death Stranding being that long, I mean, obviously you get a nicer look at Death Stranding. I think that's valuable to a lot of people. Um, but it's just 2025, so a lot of these games aren't coming out, and there was nothing from Sony, nothing from direct Sony Studios, so it sucks. So I thought it was a C minus. But let's move into Persona. Let's talk about Persona. And then I'm gonna briefly talk about Suicide Squad. But then we're gonna hop off. So, Persona 3, guys. What are your thoughts?
Trash.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Not
no, I
trash.
mean, I probably talked the most about Persona 3 in the past, but what I
Mhm.
played a couple hours of the Persona 3 Reload, and I'm enjoying it. Uh, I didn't know all of the like changes and stuff that they made to the game. Like I know that they updated the graphics, but there are new mechanics that they brought from like Persona 5. Just stuff like how I think how the Demon Fusion works. I mean Persona Fusion works. Some combat changes, like you got a super ability now in combat. Yeah, so a lot of the impressions I got were super positive. Like I already like the game a lot, and the changes that they made seem worthwhile and like smart. So it seems like a worthy improvement,
Mhm.
especially for people who haven't played the game. It seems like a finally a good way to just enjoy this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have much to say because I've beaten this game multiple times. But yeah, what about y'all?
I'm gonna let Jalen go first, and then I come in with my finals. JBZ, what you got for us?
Uh, so I was talking to Josh a little about it yesterday. I mean, it's a decent game so far. I probably play as much as I can. I don't know how much I'm gonna play when Final Fantasy come out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna try to play it as much as I can. I mean, it feels like a Persona game. I mean, it is Persona. Like the game don't really feel dated or anything like that. I think like everything is pretty much on brand. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I could see where areas where it can kind of pale in comparison to Persona 5, but again, Persona 5 is a game that was built, you know, 8 years after this game. It was at least 8 years after this game. So obviously there's gonna be, those sorts of like less adequate things about it. So but I mean I think they did a good job with the game. Everything feels fine. Um I did mention to Josh yesterday is that, you don't I like the Persona 5 because I feel like that was like one of the first Persona games where you actually fight the shadows are actually personas. And I liked the negotiation with them. In this game they do the little shuffle time or whatever to get to persona. I think it's like randomized or something like that. You got that, and then it was another aspect. Oh yeah, like I was saying, you fight personas on Persona 5, but on this one, and I remember Persona 4, you fight them shadow blob thingies and stuff. Obviously, they got different forms, and it's a bunch of different types and stuff like that. But I just always felt like fighting the personas was a little bit more interesting than
Mm-hmm.
fight the like shadows and stuff like that because I mean, they feel a little generic and stuff like that. I mean, I'll be honest, but I mean, I don't expect too much. I mean, it still is an older game, but and I know the bosses and stuff like that usually are like personas or shadow, whatever you want to call them. So, but I mean, overall, like I said, the game cool. I don't really have any huge gripes about it. I know people said it's like darker, and people was like complaining that it's a little bit more flashy, similar to like what's on brand with Persona 5 or whatever. But I feel like all that stuff make the game a little bit more extravagant and less bland. I mean, so I appreciate all those things. Like it's always cool to pause the game and then you see that little animation pop up and stuff like that. It feels vibrant versus just pausing and then a generic pause screen come up like every other game. So,
Mm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's cool though so far.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the changes or what's happened. I just know that at least it feels a lot like Persona 5 for me right now. I don't like what you just said in regards to the blobs because I was like, man, when they gonna stop actually showing what the personas look like? Because I don't like this. And I didn't know that you're probably gonna be fighting them often, and you probably might have some people in there that is visualized, but the rest of them might be blobs too, and they just. But I was thinking, oh, I didn't think they were going to be just making blobs of stuff. I thought they were going to actually have like these the weaker enemies. You have like the bigger ones, but I don't know. I don't know how it looks. So,
I
um,
mean, the shadows are the low level enemies. Like when you actually start getting level 10, level 20, you all the enemies you fight are personas. There might be one or two of them that is just like the level one generic shadow, but like
oh
you're gonna
okay,
see the personas as like regular enemies. But the bosses are actually the big ones that are like the strong personas, and they got fancy moves and stuff like that. But you're not just gonna be fighting the goop monsters the whole time. It's just they're the Goomba. They're the weakest, cheapest enemy, and then everything else from there goes up.
gotcha.
But they all got them same type of mask. They just got different numbers and stuff on them, don't they?
No, it's some that are actual personas that you fight.
That's like random battles or like the little. I
Yeah,
meant
like
like the random
random.
battle ones, I guess. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the random battles. But most of
Because I
those. So
fought a one
how
that
they
was
usually do it
yeah.
how they usually do it is like, let's say you level 10, you fight the first
Mm-hmm.
boss, and the first boss is like a knight on a horse. All right, and then he's the boss. And then once you leave that and go to the next level, that enemy becomes a common enemy. So you will see that same uh knight on a horse with a couple shadows. And then you keep playing, oh, now it's two knights and on a horse and a couple shadows. And so they become regular enemies, but they start out as bosses.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean, I ain't play that much, so I'm gonna see how it is and stuff like that. But
gotcha.
But
hopefully,
yeah, like you
yeah.
said, Persona 5, that's why they changed it to make all the enemies they're just personas, and so you see them more and you can negotiate with them. And
Mm.
yeah, unfortunately it's older, so it doesn't have that system.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the story. I feel like we got some intriguing characters. Um, in my playthrough, I'm just enjoying Persona for what it is. I like those types of slice of life type of situations. Everybody's always in high school, of course. I think everybody think in Japan think high school was the funnest thing in the world, but I enjoy the game for what it is. And yeah, I think that there's going to be cool play. I just hope that the story delivers. I think a lot of people are already saying that the story was one of the better ones of the Persona games. So it looks even with the beginning sequences and the coffins and all that stuff, definitely darker than Persona 5 already. I mean, obviously it's a little cheerful, but same old cheerful aspect of it. But it still feels like the story is going to be a little bit more um, grounded in a sense. It actually makes sense why I am in that world, what I can do, why I'm different. I don't even know if the Joker was explained why he was so different. I don't know. I don't remember now. But being able to, switch your persona and all that good jazz. I just feel like this one's giving me the education that I think I've skipped in the other one.
Yeah, I don't remember, but 3 is they do, I guess, try to explain the lore a lot in 3, so you might learn from it. Because I don't think they actually explain a lot in like 4 and 5.
All right, well, let's move on to our next topic. And I think the next one in is going to be, I think I can get the Xbox one in there too. The next one is going to be about Suicide Squad and all of the fun times. Um, I'll be honest, I like the game for what it is. Um, I actually enjoy the traversal. I say that, and I enjoy the story right now. A lot more cutscenes than I expected. A lot of detail in the world than more than I expected. When you get down to the ground and you're actually walking around looking at stuff and you're actually jumping up in the air and coming back down, you're like, okay, this is actually a decently detailed, has actual environmental landmarks, and they do a decent job of trying. So I can't knock them for having like a bland world because I thought it was bland at first when I first saw it, but I didn't explore it that well, nor did I like start to notice landmarks when I was playing. So I'm going around doing riddle challenges, traversal challenges. That's my favorite thing right now. And I enjoy the story. The story, the banter between the four characters is actually funny. Um, Unfortunately, on the PC, you do have some issues with frame pacing, I guess. I thought I was crazy until I watched the Digital Foundry thing. I was like, bro, why is this game running like this? Like it'll stay at 60, but it felt choppy. But then they kind of explained what was happening. I don't have I just know it was off. So I don't I don't have the ability to kind of explain why it was off. But I knew it was off. But yeah, I guess there's some issue with the game and how they do their frame pacing. That's causing it to feel a little worse on PC than it does on Xbox and PlayStation. And that's why I wanted to switch back, but I couldn't miss that 50 that discount, that nice discount on here. I was like, I can't beat it. So I ended up still getting it on PC. I'm still enjoying it, and after a few playthroughs of what I was playing, because I played it for like 5 hours, 6 hours now, um, it started to get better. It's not as bad as it was at first, and then I turned off ray tracing, um, and did a few other things to kind of make it a lot more clearer and stable. So, um, I don't know what I did, but something changed to the point where it became more stable around like the 4 hour mark. So the last 2 hours I played was a lot more enjoyable. Um, but yeah, the story is cool. I really liked the Batman sequence that they put us through. I feel like they have a lot of callbacks to the Arkham games, and being able to see that type of stuff from a jokingly un un a jokingly way, like just put it in that what he did in Arkham City and what he did at Arkham Asylum and how many people he put away and all the stuff we went through in them games, and seeing it through the eyes of the Suicide Squad is just interesting to me. So I knew I was going to enjoy it simply because of it being Rocksteady, and I know that they weren't going to fail on the story, and I had to just get my mind around this is more Borderlands than you think, Deontay, and you like Borderlands, so I'm pretty sure you'll like this. So I had to retrain my reprocess what type of game it was. And I read enough online to tell me that I don't have to play with anyone to enjoy it. So I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie and say that it's bad because I had a take on it earlier. It's not bad. It's just not like what I wanted, and that's okay. So, do I want Rocksteady to go out of business? Absolutely not. Do I want them to be able to continue to make games? Absolutely. So, if I gotta play this game and wait for the next one, that's fine. It it does feel like it should have been handed off to someone else to create, and I would have enjoyed it a lot more simply because I knew Rocksteady in the back of my mind was making something better. But at the end of the day, the animations are really great. A lot more cleaned up. Visually, is a lot more appeasing. Does not feel like as unfluid as I thought the once thought it was. And I don't know, maybe it was because I was playing on that build, and once I went into the open world, it just didn't feel right. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, it feels a lot better. My objectives are clear, and I am enjoying what they have to offer. I'm not saying go buy the game. I'm just saying that you don't have to crap on it because they didn't make the game that you wanted per se. So that's all I'll say on that. Anything to add there before we move on?
No, I don't have a whole lot. From what I played, it was fun. It wasn't what I was personally looking for. Like I like the Arkham games, and I wanted something more of that. But like you said, the traversal was fun, and I like the characters and the story so far. But I personally would rather just wait until the game is cheaper.
Yeah,
I can play through it on my own time. I don't got to worry about like their. I mean, I like you said, you can play by yourself, but it's online focused. But I don't want to think about any of that stuff. Just play it on my own time and enjoy it.
yeah.
It's been super controversial. People hating it, people defending it. But the biggest thing is the IGN beef is
Oh
real.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They gave it a 5 out of 10, I think, right?
yeah, and but that's not the only thing that IGN issue at IGN. So IGN was the first to be like, "Oh, we're not gonna have a review ready because they didn't give us any codes," and they was upset about that. It's just like you're a journalist and you didn't get the code. It's fair, but it's their decision. The second thing I found out though is that probably why they didn't get the code is because IGN was also one of the first ones to leak stuff out of the closed alpha that happened a couple months ago. They were talking about uh story stuff with Batman and they shouldn't have been. And then the
Oh,
day the game came out, they was like, "Oh, get Suicide Squad for cheap here, like 50% off or something." But that ad was for a single eBay seller, and then the Rocksteady devs start tweeting like IGN, like, why are y'all linking to this single eBay seller? Like this is a real deal. Like, are you mad that you didn't get a code? So if you go online, all the Rocksteady devs are just like beefing with IGN right now, and it's just interesting.
bro,
That's
not them having Twitter beef over. I understand it though. I mean, you work on something for a long time, you're proud of it, and people squander over it like that. That's fine. I mean, but you're in. You have to understand where you are within the medium. Like, um, within this line of work comes bad press, and and it's unfortunate because it's a lot of people harp and they utilize these as their opinion factor, like on games. And regardless, like me and Jalen know that from playing all those 7 out of 10s, because we still like them. We think they eights, we think they nines, because we enjoy our characters and what they put up, the paces that they put us through, and all that good jazz. So it's not like they can say anything bad about it that will make me want it, unless it's like technically broken. Outside of that, I don't really care about what you thought about the story, what you thought about the mechanics, because sometimes I just want to play some games that feel like the gameplay is solid. And if it's clear enough to know that the game is heavily opinionated and not fundamentally broken, then I'm okay with giving it a shot. And sometimes these companies don't come from that objective stance. That's why I started watching all the technical reviews, because they come at it from that point. Everything is fundamentally working, and then there's a bunch of opinions. But I think now it has become a more opinion than it has actually about fundamentals. So, um, I get their beef with that because it is a problem, especially when people use this as a shining or as a guiding light on what games to play and not to play. Um, so it's a tough beef, and it is based in some real stuff happening, and I get it. But at the end of the day, people's opinions, you have to respect people's opinions. If you're going to put out something for people to decide on whether or not to buy, you have to be ready to accept the criticism and the flawed media with that content. Like, you can't beat them. So that's the problem. So, I get it. Um, but yeah, they were the first ones to come out. They said they didn't get a copy, but they also were like 2 days after the game came out. They were ready for a review. Um, I think that was a digest as quick as possible and give out this game score, because if you play the game, you actually will have some fun. I highly doubt they didn't have fun. A 5 out of 10 tells
In the
me,
review, he said it was fun, but I don't like the live service stuff and this and that, and so it's a 5.
but you don't even have to interact with it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the reviews, like you said, they're subjective. It's just that person's opinion. Like, I
Hmm.
can get it if like I play Destiny forever and the game is fun, but I hate the package that is wrapped in or something like that. But yeah, like I don't think the game is a 5 out of 10, even though I don't want to buy it. It probably is better than that. But yeah, he played it quick and didn't like it, and that probably played 10 hours straight and had to put out the review.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he probably didn't, tag along, do any of the optional stuff. He wasn't probably interested in making this game a good review. He's just more so interested in getting it done. And I don't know, I don't want to put that on somebody, but if you got 2 days, like maybe you bought it early and you got the 72 hours, but your video still came out on the day of release. So that tells me you played it, you edited, and you finished. You had to keep writing reviews. You had to keep going through the whole beats. You had to you. That's not enough time. That's why I like people that say 100% after completion, because that tells me you dedicated your time to truly critiquing this content and not just playing with us. And you know, I don't like I really don't like reviews anymore. Like, I really like certain review people that really do the 100% reviews, like 100% after completion. Those reviews I respect 10 times more than any regular Polygon IGN, because I don't know their dedication to that game. If they don't have the dedication to play that game thoroughly, why am I going to respect your opinion through it? Like when they give, these Assassin's Creed games 8s and 9s, I'm like, bro, quit giving these games high scores, and they the same thing that we all know is formulaic and it's not fun. So, but they keep doing it. So, but let's wrap this up. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to kind of say on this. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
No, I'm be playing more Persona. I'm playing it on Game Pass and just streaming it. So I'm trying to get through that as quickly as possible. Final Fantasy is coming up soon. Dragon's Dogma coming up soon. I didn't talk about it, but another anime game that came out recently, like 2 days ago, Grand Blue Fantasy Link or something like that, Relink, is getting real good reviews. If you're interested in like a Tales of style action like anime game, that seems pretty good. It's $50. I'm gonna wait for a sale, but it seems pretty good. But yeah, too many games coming out, and I still got a backlog. So uh, send me help. Give me some help. Put y'all spirit bomb hands up.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for listening and enjoying the content. If you got to this part, you're the real OG. Thanks again for listening as always. We appreciate you. We thankful. And if you want to share and shoot us some, I don't know, 5 stars, that'll be awesome. Thanks for listening. and we will see you guys next week. Really soon, actually, because this is coming out on a Sunday, and this won't be up on Wednesday. So, talk soon. Peace.